Fans are worried about Chase Chrisley after seeing him make an appearance where he looked frail and sick. He has been going through a lot recently, which has led fans to be even more worried about him and his health. However, fans think they know what could be wrong with him and why he looks the way he does. There is a lot to uncover and unfold. Is he okay? Keep reading to find out more about this situation. Chase Chrisley has been vocal about his parents' imprisonment, pardon, and their return. However, fans have been noticing that he is not the most involved lately. The family shows up for interviews, but Chase is nowhere to be seen. When the family did a group interview, it was only Savannah, Todd, Julie, and Grayson. This left fans to wonder if they were not on good terms with Chase. However, he is still speaking highly of his parents and how they have been since the pardon, so he could just be trying to focus on himself and his career. If there is bad blood between the family, fans are unsure what it could be about. Chase Chrisley recently did an interview about his life and his parents' lives post-pardon. However, after the interview, fans were wondering what happened to Chase. He looks extremely thin and almost sick in a way. This is not looking too good. However, fans hope he is not on drugs and that there is a better explanation for this. It seems as though fans think Chase could be on drugs, or that his mental health is deteriorating. Regardless, the options as to why he looks this way are not good. Fans are worried about him and think that more people need to be checking in with him. He recently stopped drinking and put out a non-alcoholic seltzer to start off his sobriety journey. What do you think is going on with Chase? Why do you think he looks so sick? Sound off in the comments below. We would love to hear your thoughts on this situation. From the glossy sets of Chrisley Knows Best to hushed headlines, Chase Chrisley, son of Todd and Julie Chrisley, has wandered into a new spotlight. A startling physical transformation that's left fans deeply concerned. Social media buzz has been relentless, with shock and fear echoing across platforms. So what's behind Chase's gaunt, fragile look? And what does it signal about his health and emotional state? It started with a seemingly innocent selfie. Chase posted it on his Instagram story. In the image, he looked markedly thinner, with hollow cheeks, pallid skin, and trembling hands. His once strong jawline had receded, replaced by sharp angles and dark under-eye circles. Followers responded within hours. Worried emojis, concerned captions, and a flock of comments wondering, is he sick? Is he even okay? On Reddit's /Chrisley Knows prison forum, reactions were immediate. One user wrote, "He looks thin like how you look when you're not sleeping or feeling well." Reddit.com, monstersandcritics.com. Another message captured the collective dread. "He looks so frail in that pic, like something serious is wrong." It wasn't just a few worried fans. Threads piled up, views exploded, dozens of Redditors echoing their fears. Past patterns fuel the panic tale. This recent photo sparked concern. It's not the first time fans have noticed a decline in Chase's appearance. In early 2024, images circulated showing him bloated, with a flushed face and puffiness many immediately labeled as possible alcohol bloat. Comments echoed concern, pointing to alcohol mixed with medication bloat. Reddit.com. By year's end, rumors had spread that Chase had even been hospitalized for dehydration and acute pancreatitis, ailments often associated with alcohol overuse. Tvshowsace.com. Reports indicated he'd been at Vanderbilt University Hospital in Nashville. Speculation intensified as fans connected his past drinking habits to the emergency. These incidents amplified the alarm at his latest Frail appearance. Sobriety a reality, but not a cure. In April 2025, Chase openly shared that he'd been nearly a month alcohol-free, describing himself as feeling better than I have in years. monstersandcritics.com. Supporters rallied behind him. However, multiple fans stressed that sobriety is only part of the equation. He's a kid with a broken family, trying to figure it out without losing himself. Despite this milestone, concerns linger. Can 1 month of sobriety really reverse months or years of physical and emotional stress? Observers think his frail look could stem from deeper issues: mental health struggles, grief over his parents' incarcerations, relationship instability, or long-term effects from past substance use, trauma, loss, and the weight of fame. Since January 2023, Chase's life has been marred by upheaval. His parents, Todd and Julie Chrisley, were convicted of financial crimes and handed lengthy prison sentences, -12 and 7 years respectively. Their separation from the family fractured the group's support structure. MonsterSynCritics.com, Extract.com, to Emmy Metters ended in 2024. Another emotional setback that fans say shook him deeply. Showsays.com. The sudden and tragic death of close friend Nick Curtels further destabilized him. MonsterSynCritics.com. As the public face of his family through these crises, Chase has faced media scrutiny, legal drama, and personal turmoil. One Redditor reflected on this broader context. A kid growing up in that toxic household, then thrust into crisis after crisis. No wonder he's crumbling. The weight of fame, once a vehicle of his identity, is now a burden, exposing him to relentless judgment even as he tries to navigate adult life under pressure. Substance use. A lingering threat. Alpha Chase has stated he's been sober for nearly a month. Some fans remain skeptical. A February 2025 bar altercation in Atlanta, where he allegedly slapped a restaurant manager after drinking, resurfaced in memories. Reddit.com. And last winter's hospitalization due to suspected alcohol-related pancreatitis haunts the conversation. Showsays.com. Now, as he appears shaky and thin again, discussions abound. Might this be the aftermath of months or years of alcohol damage? Could he be in relapse mode, or maybe undergoing withdrawal and detox? Or is it an entirely different health issue, physical or mental, that requires medical attention? The lack of any real update from Chase adds to the unease. Fans are hungry for clarity. Mental health, anxiety, depression, PTSD. Observers have raised another concern. What if stress, grief, and public meltdown are silently manifesting as physical decline? The Chrisley kids have recounted horror stories about their parents in prison. Black mold, sweltering heat with no air conditioning, and even poisonous snakes in their mother's cell. All.com, Reddit.com, Circus.com. Chase visits regularly, but the experience is traumatic. Exposure to such stress is capable of erasing appetite, disrupting sleep, and causing weight loss, all symptoms of anxiety or depression. Coupled with a rumored relapsing relationship, emotional loneliness, and the burden of stepping up for his siblings, mental health challenges may loom large, yet quietly. What needs to have the overlap of medical, psychological, and media issues? Experts and caring fans say Chase may need a full medical assessment to rule out malnutrition, illness, or damage from past alcohol use. Ongoing mental health care, therapy or support groups to help him process grief and trauma. Sober support and accountability. Sustained addiction counseling beyond a 30-day milestone. Rest from the spotlight. A public hiatus could alleviate external pressures to perform or stay strong for viewers. Fan reactions. Sympathy, fractured opinions. The community response has been mixed but mostly sympathetic. Some bash the Chrisley family legacy, citing fraud and privilege. Others offer genuine hope. I really hope he finds peace and health. A few stay critical. Stop making it about him. He knew what he signed up for. But more are quietly rooting for his well-being. On Reddit, a user wrote, "If he can stay sober and get some help to feel good mentally, there's still hope." Showsays.com, another stated, "He's at a crossroads. He either crumbles under everything or grows up and takes control." What's next? Chase is expected to share more in his upcoming podcast with sister Savannah. Unlocked with Savannah Chrisley. Given their recent history, including calls about prison conditions, this may be where fans get more clues into his current state. All.com. With both parents behind bars, younger siblings still children, and a drained personal life, This may be a pivotal moment. Fans hope he uses this platform to confirm he's seeking medical and mental health support, a health update that is clear and not sugar-coated, demonstrate that his near-thin, anxious presentation reflects a real journey, and not just performative clickbait conclusion. More than a photo, that frail glance in a photo is not just a snapshot, it's a symptom. A reflection of a life under siege, trauma, loss, health anxiety, and perhaps relapse. The fans who rallied are right to be horrified and concerned. But shock won't help unless it compels action on Chase's part and in how he confronts his physical and emotional state. At this crossroads, he holds a choice to retreat into private healing or stay in the spotlight and lead a recovery narrative with vulnerability. The latter could redefine him, not as the sanitized son of a glossy reality empire, but as a real human, grappling with real pain and emerging stronger. That's the kind of story worth watching and supporting. Word count: 1,505. Including headings, let me know if you'd like to polish the tone, add a sidebar, or short info magazine format.